Hasbro has been making Marvel Legends for over 20 years now. But what if I told you that there was a chance that they might not be making them moving forward after 2026? I mean, we all just saw what happened with Todd McFarlane in the DC Multiverse license just a couple of weeks ago. There's a chance that Hasbro could lose the license to make Marvel figures moving forward. And that could be a really big change for us as collectors. But is it a good thing or a bad thing? Today, we're going to break down the 5 pros and cons of a world without Hasbro's Marvel Legends. Stick around. A fresh take on Marvel figures. One of the biggest benefits of another company taking over? A fresh perspective. For the past 20 years, Hasbro has had their own style, and it's something that we've become accustomed to and learned to expect from them. We already know that we have to go through the usual suspects every year so that Hasbro can pad their bank account. We already know what the body molds look like and what to expect when we see them. We pretty much know what accessories are going to come with what figures and what Build-A-Figures we checking for in every wave. We know all of that already. These are things that we know off the top of our head. But what if that wasn't the case? What if there was no such thing as a Bucky Cap mold, or a Vulcan body, or a Renew Your Vow Spider-Man body? What if there was no such thing as that? What if every single figure that you picked up for the next year had a new body mold, something that you couldn't pick, something that you couldn't place, something that you've never seen before? I think that would be awesome. The loss of consistency. See, on the flip side, a new company may want to take over and then try to shake things up and put their stamp on it, which could really shake things up for us collectors. Marvel Legends has had it easy for the most part, but anybody who's collected DC for some time has known the struggles that we've gone through, from DC Icons to DC Multiverse with Mattel, back to Todd McFarlane, now we're going back to Mattel. We've been bouncing all over the place with DC Multiverse, so we know the pain that this comes with. One simple thing, like changing the scaling, could mess everything up for us. When McFarlane took over the DC line and made his figures 7 inches, I was super tight and I was dead set against supporting that line because I felt like he made me restart everything that I already had done. Everything that came before him, I felt like he thought that didn't count and he wanted me to start with him. So I was dead set against that. I wasn't interested in 7-inch figures, and I wasn't interested in repeating figures that I already bought just because now he wants to put them out. That put a really bad taste in my mouth when it came to DC Multiverse, and that's one of the biggest reasons why I did my video on why I don't like DC Multiverse figures. I went a couple of years protesting them, and I really wasn't buying anything as a result of that. Marvel Legends is my biggest line, and I can tell you right now, if there was to change the scale on Marvel Legends, I would seriously consider quitting the line altogether or just moving up to something else, because I'm not trying to start all of this all over again. I'm not doing this whole room over. There's no way. Better price to value ratio. If you're collecting right now, then you already know what time it is when it comes to these prices. The prices keep going up and up, faster and faster, it seems like. The thing is this though, I feel like Hasbro thinks that they don't have to compete. I've said this before and I'll say it again. There's something about somebody running in first place that feels like they really don't got to go too hard. That person in first place really doesn't have the eye of the tiger. You know what I'm saying? You know who has the eye of the tiger? Second place, third place, any position besides first place. Any company that's not in first place wants to be in first place, and they can almost taste it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how close they are to it, and you can see them gunning for that #1 spot. Those people have the eye of the tiger. Those companies have the eye of the tiger. When Toy Biz had the Marvel Legends line, those figures were coming with accessories, even full-blown vehicles, and they wasn't going out their face trying to call them deluxe figures. Let's not even talk about the size of the Build-A-Figures that came with the Toy Biz figures. That's a whole nother story. And let's keep it real. Back in them days, those Toy Biz figures was going for $8. Even with the add-on of inflation, it still doesn't add up. When Hasbro took over the Marvel Legends line, the only line that they were really thinking about was their bottom line, not the character line. In 2025, Hasbro has stripped down their figures to retro card backs with hardly no accessories, maybe a pair of hands, and no Build-A-Figure pieces. It can't be a money issue, because if it was really a money issue, then can you explain to me why Jada Toys, every single one of their Street Fighter characters comes with stands, comes with accessories, comes with effects? Most of them are different. I only see 2 characters that reuse the same mold, and that's a newer, smaller company, and they can do it, so it can be done. Jada Toys is not even as big as Hasbro, and for some reason, they're able to pump out better quality figures then Hasbro's been pumping out for the longest. They got better everything. Even their packaging is better than Hasbro's. If a newer and smaller toy company can do this, then Hasbro can definitely do this. Higher prices. So a new company may not want to jump into the $25 price point, and that's for a couple of different reasons. Every company these days is wanting more and more. So why start at 25 when you can start at 30, maybe even 40, and then work your way up from there as a new company, as a whole new line? A new company may decide that $25 is not where they want to be at. And everybody loves imports until the price hits, right? Okay, so let's forget about the domestic guys for a minute. Let's forget about the Hasbros, the Mattels, the McFarlane toys. Let's move up just a little bit. How would you feel if a company like Mafex or SH Figure Arts were to get the Marvel Legends line? Like an American version of those companies at that price point. How would you feel about that? You happy with that price point? $80 to $100 for a figure, sometimes even more if the figure's in demand like Gambit or Magneto or something like that. That's where you want to go with Marvel Legends? Because I'm not really interested in that right there. I have a hard time keeping up with my releases now. As it is, I can't even imagine if there was triple or quadruple the price that they are. There's no way I'll be able to keep up with it. It's like I wouldn't even want to do this anymore. It just wouldn't be fun. And I just probably wouldn't want to do it. But that's just me. Let me know how you feel in the comments. Better customer engagement. So when I think about the title moving hands, I think about things like maybe newer companies may be more interested in hearing feedback from us. Because quite honestly, Hasbro has me on the fence about how I feel about them like day to day. Sometimes I feel like they listen to what we have to say, but I always feel like it comes with a cost. Like if they give us something we've been asking for, I feel like they gotta take something away, like it's a trade-off, you know what I'm saying? McFarlane's early years were rough, but I can tell you this much. He took the time to listen to our complaints and he made adjustments where he could with the feedback that we was giving him. Those cloth capes are really standing out, and those wires, they make it look like you're really flying, and that's something that we've wanted from a long time from a whole bunch of different lines. Marvel hasn't really done that like that, not with the wires and everything. Odin came out with a little cloth cape, but they got a long way to go. You know, McFarlane really took that and it really gave those figures life. Jada Toys figures, to me, at their price point, are the best figures out right now. Only one sculpt, from what I can tell, is reused, and that's like Ryu and Ken, and that makes perfect sense. All the figures come with accessories, all the figures come with stands, all the figures come with special effects. And to be completely honest, Jada Toys could probably get away with making those figures like $30, $35, and I wouldn't even have a problem with it because I feel like it's worth it. Once again, though, I feel like Jada wants to be in first place, and that's the line that they want to cross. So they're willing to do whatever it takes to make it to the finish line in first place. The first place line is the line that Jada wants to cross. Hasbro's only really concerned about their bottom line, and that's the line that they want to cross. I think that a smaller company may be more willing to listen to what it is that we have to say and make those adjustments from the very beginning so that maybe there's not a problem in the first place. Limited character selection. The good side about Hasbro and them being a major player in the game is the fact that they pump out so much product that they're able to give us characters that other lines may not be able to get to. A newer or smaller company is going to want surefire hits. And you already know what that means. We're going to have a long run of the usual suspects. Another Captain America, another Iron Man, another Wolverine, another Spider-Man. We're going to have to go through that run so they can get their money up. Those are the characters that they're going to want to stick to because they're going to want to make sure that everything they put out is a surefire hit. They're really not in a position to be putting out peg warmers, especially in the beginning. So they're going to go with the figures that make sense. They don't really have the luxury of taking a chance on a character going to clearance. Because Hasbro is so big and they give us so many repaints and they reuse body molds, they're going to give us characters that other people just can't. Off the top of my head, I'm thinking about characters like Stiltman, Frogman, Tarantula, Howard the Duck. I mean, these are characters that die-hard collectors are going to know of. These are not household names. That's also why I could see a smaller company never getting to these characters or taking a few years to get to them at the very least. Any new company is going to want to start with a bang. And you already know what that means. The usual suspects, Captain America, Iron Man, Wolverine, you already know, blah, 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 blah. That's what we have lined up for us if a new company takes over the line. Better innovation. So we already touched on the fact that Hasbro uses body molds a lot longer than they really should. We can just look at the figure through the package and we can tell pretty much how they put this figure together, where these parts came from. The thing is, it doesn't just stop at body molds. With the exception of the rare character here and there, I'm pretty much done with the accessories that Marvel Legends comes with. This little generic lightning effect has been so overdone, it's not funny. And to be honest with you, I never really even liked this in the first place. I like the new lightning effects that came with like the Francine Fry Electro, but these lightning effects right here, these are the worst. These should have been gone like 15 years ago. And don't even get me started with these little circle effects right here, because these are so overdone that I don't even take these out the box anymore half the time. I'm so over these accessories that once the figure even comes with these accessories, the figure feels dated to me. Even if it's a brand new figure, once it comes with these, it feels dated. Like, I really want to say that we've been getting those since like 2006. It's 2025 and we're still getting those effects. Come on, my brother. There's no reason that those things are still in circulation. That's just disrespectful. A new company wouldn't have any of those things going on, and everything would be brand new to us. Every single accessory will be brand new to us. I would want to think like for the first couple of years, every time we get a figure, we're going to feel like we're getting something brand new. Right now from Hasbro, what I feel like is the figure is kind of new, but everything else is just recycled, thrown inside the box. And anytime they do want to give you something new, they want to charge you $50 for it. Licensing delays. So this is where it gets a little bit tricky for me, because to my understanding, it takes about 2 to 3 years from a toy to go from development to production to the shelf where we actually pick it up at. And that's for a regular release with a company that already has everything in order. I'm not really sure how they're going to play this out, because Hasbro only has until 2026, and that's less than a year away. So if Hasbro is going to lose the license, they need to know who it's going to. Like yesterday, if it's March 10th right now and they still throwing names around, then we're definitely going to have a gap in services, because there's no way another company's going to be able to pick it up that fast. With Marvel Legends, we're used to getting new waves like every month or so. Can you imagine going a whole year without seeing any Marvel Legends at all? Not hearing about it, no news, no nothing, just keep me posted. See, with another smaller company, that may be something that we're used to. I mean, I give Jada Toys all the props in the world, but at the end of the day, they putting out like what, 6 to 9 figures a year? Hasbro is putting out 6 figures a wave. That's a big difference. Once again, you have to ask yourself, is that something that you're really ready for? 1 wave a year. Even if they all hitters. I don't know. I'm kind of spoiled with the speed of Hasbro's releases at this point. A potential to split up the license. So this is my biggest pro right here. And I think that what would make the most sense is for them to just split the license. That's something that I could really see happening. And not for nothing, Hasbro needs some competition to hold their feet to the fire. So what if they was to split the line and let Hasbro keep like the 6-inch lineup of Marvel Legends, and then give another company like the 7-inch line to Marvel Legends? The reason I say that is because McFarlane already messed up my DC section, so I'm never going to be able to put my Marvel characters against my DC characters, not in this lifetime. So I'm kind of hoping that Hasbro keeps the 6-inch line so I can continue building from where I was at and not really lose anything, but at the same time, have them make another line so that I can maybe possibly invest into that line and have like my whole Marvel versus DC section, and they all scale correctly because they are 7 inches. And at the same time, Hasbro can't start pulling things back like hands and accessories, because you have another product in the shelf right next to them that they got to stay vigilant with. I feel like that would give Hasbro a little bit of competition, especially when they're on the shelf right next to each other at basically the same price point. And the thing is this, I prefer 6-inch figures over 7-inch figures all day, but you guys know I collect in themes. And one thing that I've been dying to do is a Marvel versus DC section. I just have not been able to do that because of the scaling. I don't want to lose the 6-inch line either. So I feel like this will be a good compromise, because now it's not a given that we're going to take your Spider-Man. We might just buy his Spider-Man and yours can go to clearance. Build-A-Figures are dying. So right now, Build-A-Figures are going extinct. We used to have them everywhere, but now they're coming out once or twice a year. You might get a Build-A-Figure. I have to believe that the Build-A-Figure is going the way of the dinosaur, and that's pretty much because Hasbro has figured out another way to give us less and charge us more. I can't help but feel that they're doing their best to try to phase them out, but at the same time, I think I fully understand that they're probably the last company that's going to give us any Build-A-Figures at all. I'm almost positive that any company moving in is just gonna skip straight to the figures, forget about the Build-A-Figures like it never existed, and keep on trucking. I don't really see Build-A-Figures being a thing moving forward unless things like seriously change. Build-A-Figures have been taking a hit from the beginning. We went from Galactus and Fing Fang Foom to Hitmonkey and Rocket Raccoon. Even the newer Build-A-Figures are kind of suspect if you ask me, and they don't even make you want to buy the whole wave anymore. Build-A-Figures are dying out for sure, but they're still alive. But I feel like that's only with Hasbro, because any other company, I don't feel like they're going to want to take that on. I feel like they're going to look at that as an expense where they can cut, trim the fat, keep costs down, and probably remain competitive at the $25 price point. That's what I feel like they're going to do with that right there. And those are my thoughts on the 5 pros and cons as to whether Hasbro should keep the Marvel Legends line. So let me know what you think. Do you feel like Hasbro should keep the Marvel Legends line, or do you think that somebody new should come on board and give them a shot? It could be bittersweet, and you could lose more than you gain, or vice versa. I'm interested to know how you feel. Until next time, peace.